folks, welcome back for another episode of Our Journeys. I am very happy to say that we have queued into Eye of the Restless Storm at the very beginning of his game against Schwaaard, the Ghost Whisperer. Both are in the Lady, rank 4. And Eye of the Restless Storm opens with a premium Lesra.
If I fall,
and Schaefer opens with a not-so-premium Fighters Guild recruit.
let's do this.
Oh, and the whiff on the ally.
Must I do everything myself?
I bet... Okay, never mind. I was going to say, I bet we see nothing but... after that, we see nothing but intelligence cards. Okay, and Eye of the Restless Storm taking the... Okay, I've got to remember that makes noise. I'm not going to do that.
The hist heals and rejuvenates.
So it takes away Schwaaard's draw power on the cat's paw. Yeah, you got that distiller, boy, that can get out of hand really quick. For whatever reason, I don't remember it getting a lot of play initially. I don't think it was ever considered a bad card, but it never got a whole lot of love. But it is definitely one of those cards that it's another hard removal. Get it out the door. Don't let it slay. Don't let it pilfer. Like it's got quite a bit of like either one is bad news for you. If it slays or pilfers, you're in some trouble.
Nice try. Care to go again?
Every time I see a premium Daggerfall Mage, I remember before I really realized how much premiums cost, and that's a powerful blow, as one orc might say. So good to see Warrior King's Agent in action. I love that card. Doesn't get a lot of play, but he is.
You've not seen my life.
That's right. Bam. And he's also really good. He's got to be addressed very quickly, otherwise things get out of hand. Happily, Eye has 2 cards that will survive an Ice Storm, so that wouldn't be really worth Schaefer's time. And he's really pushing heavy. We see him got all the way down to 17. Now the key is going to be, does Schwaaard find his altar and or amulet in time? I'm pretty sure that's being run. Pretty bold to put down the Blood Magic Lord there, but of course we know he's trying to put a halt on the aggression. Okay, so Schwaaard spares himself an extra 2 damage. Well, yeah, no, okay, never mind. I was gonna say if I had hit with, or if he killed the Night Talon Lord with him, then he would have spawned another card, at least in death. Right now, again, another formidable board. 1 card that survives an Ice Storm, but right on cue. So, I mean, if I did not have the cards that he has right now, i.e. 2 Conjurers back to back, I would be a little worried for him. I think he's going to be able to continue to push, because obviously now they're all unshackled, and Red Brahmin has to deal with it entirely. But now that Ice Storm comes out, I was calling it for 2 turns. You know that, okay, they'll survive the Ice Storm, unfortunately.
The waters of life.
Oof. I mean, and that's a great pull for Schwaaard, who has a nice handful of cards. Now, Worm King Agent, yeah, I was going to say, that what you didn't want to see is a guard come down in the Shadow Lane, because that's, especially with the 5-3 in the field lane, that's going to be where Eye is probably going to look to close this game out from. And I don't know what he's got on the back end. Obviously, we see a Gatekeeper. Alfie Conjure is going to spit out that 7-5. Wait, if it raises dead, does it pull? It pulls the... There's the altar. Yeah. That was the worst part of it. It resurrected that, so now he does not have an Atronach in the graveyard. And Cruel Fire Bloom doing its thing. Hits the lesser of 2 evils. So that's good. Ooh, Sentinel Reclaimer would get him right up there. Would have given him 8 damage, leaving 2 on the board. He's going to hold on to that for reach. I'm guessing Alfik is going to come down also in the field lane, really? Okay. Yeah, again, unfortunately does not have the 7/5. It's not can't spawn the 7/5. That was pretty much the highest roll that Schwaaard could have hoped for. Get a guard down, ramp no less in that field in the shadow lane. Obviously, you know, Worm King Agent took care of that handily. Does not have to worry about an Ice Storm. What does he have to worry about? Guardians. Oh wait, he got his Red Robin back. Never mind. That's more than likely what we're going to see there. But Sentinel Reclaimer, if that's all Schwaard's got, Sentinel Reclaimer is going to bring this one home for Eye of the Restless Storm. That is not all he had. And I has the reach. That sounds like bad grammar. I has the reach. Okay, Barrowstalker
I smell
would have possibly spared the trade with the Worm King Agent, but he chooses to put that there because, again, with Sentinel Reclaimer, she is lethal. Another Ice Storm
Must I do everything
isn't going to get it
myself?
done, so, okay. Schwaaard doing the card draw thing. He's got a Cruel Fire Bloom. He's going to roll, or any number of those Telvanni cards that allows the Balmora Spymaster to trigger, but then also still produce more cards. But I don't know. It looks Schwaard's been moving at a pretty good pace this game. It looks like he sees the writing on the wall. Obviously, he doesn't know I has the reach, but he does know that he hasn't seen. Okay, does he have a way to address the 2/3? Does not look like it.
The Black Hand sees all.
Does not, but it is just enough to get him out of. No, wait. 3, 4, 5. Nope, 1 off of lethal. The only good thing now is that Schwaaard is running low on cards. And I is not playing that Reclaim. Well, it's not, yeah. Is not using the reach just yet, but is going to go ahead and put down that Reclaimer. No! I guess, look, he looks at it this way. That is his trump, like, Schwaaard doesn't know to play around that. Obviously he knows he's sitting on a card, doesn't know what it is. Obviously he's at max Magicka. It's got to be a reach of some kind, and it ain't a lightning bolt. Although I guess it could be. So, but he's keeping that close to the vest because it's not like he's going to run out. He needs the Magicka next play. He's got 2 cards to play right now, 3 after in the next turn. More than likely, he's going to be able to play all of them easily enough. And Schwaaard with all the answers, man, all the answers to keep himself alive right now. Oh no! Is this how the game ends? Come on! Yes! No! Sweet! He has it! He has it! Worm King Agent. Sentinel Reclaimer. That's 10. Oh no, is he 1 magic off? Worm King, that's 7. Okay, that's 10, 11. He is 1 Magicka off. And that's going to be game. That's going to be game. So, in retrospect, who knows how it would have affected what Schwaaard played and how he played it, but if he had played Sentinel Reclaimer that turn, he would have had enough Magicka for this. Again, you can't quarterback these things, you know, the day after. You can't be like, oh, well, if he only had. But this is
Let's see if we can find something
contrary to what I said. He just needed 1 more Magicka. And now he's up against it. I mean, that doesn't... I mean, I guess the game isn't officially over, but that's 10 Magicka is a lot harder to overcome. Again, Schwaaard. The only thing Schwaaard doesn't have, or Schwaaard, I think it's Schwaaard.
Many important things on my mind.
Takes out. Interesting. I thought he would take out the 2/3, but I guess he figures. Oh! Oh! Abertharn trigger! Abertharn and Steel Sword will do it! Abertharn and Steel Sword will do it! Oh no, but he's gonna get the silence. No, he's not! Yes! No, wait, no! He got the extra Magicka! Gosh, the extra health from.
I will not be on the wrong
Wait,
side of
wait, am I out? No, okay. Alright. He could have. If Blackhand Messenger... He's ruined this game for Eye of the Restless Storm so far. Or I should say, made this game much more difficult than it would have been otherwise. Great pull there from Sheffer. All the magic in the world. Ice Storm isn't going to help him. Cruel Fire Bloom. Well, Dark Rebirth. Okay, Dark Rebirth does it. Man, I mean, so on one hand you do have the... But it's just so many answers. That's the thing. It's like there's resourcefulness, but when you have... Oh... I'm sorry, I am so sorry. Unless you've got a Shadowfen Priest. Oh, where were you 2 turns ago, Lightning Bolt? Unfortunately, yep, everything in that lane trades, and yeah, he's got lethal. Sheffer has lethal, or Schaefer. I need a bib. I need a bib. Oh, that's embarrassing.
Nothing will stop my rise.
I mean, I don't think Schaefer will play around. Okay, there we go. Well, good game, Eye of the Restless Storm. This is not the first time we've seen Telvanni be able to just claw itself back. 3 cards in hand, and they're all the exact thing. You got your Vipers. And it's impressive for one who's not running agility in those colors as well. That's what that boils down to. All right, this is a rare treat these days. We're actually seeing Brave Caryod friends. We're actually being able to spectate. Old school. I'm not sure if she's recording this, so if she is, well, you probably won't even see this part of the video. But if she is not, then you will see it. And like I said, it's very rare that we actually, not that we see her playing, but just that we spectate one of her games. So this is a treat. And she is running, I'm guessing, the guard, like the ideal version of that Ebonheart deck, which is a lot of guards, a lot of defense, but can pivot and can turn the corner. It has done very well for her. Now she is up against Fee-Fi Foot Thumb. Oh no, I guess it is Fee-Fi Fo. Well, Fee-Fi Foo. Fee-Fi Fo would be spelled differently, and it does. It looks like Fee-Fi Foot Hum. But I get what he's going. He's going for the giant from what have you. And for the second time today, we are seeing the altar. Anywho, Fee-Fi Fo Thumb. Fee-Fi Fo Thumb. Fee-Fi Foo Thumb is a top 10 legendary player, so Brave definitely has her work cut out for her here. This also might be an animal-heavy build. Now, I know she loves Snowy Saber, as you know, that is her avatar. And here she will be able to play the Nixox and Snowy Saber. She almost would be able to do that regardless of the Nixox abilities. I have to ask Brave if Nixox is cute, because we know Sanctuary Pet is cute. I wonder if Nixox, with its mandibles and drool, and it is kind of furry. It is kind of furry. It's got some spiny fur on it. I would have to ask if that would be considered cute or if that's just not cool. Dark Rebirth, that was huge in the last game we watched. And it is feeding Fief's hand. Ooh, the douche! Now I know for a fact, and I also agree, one of the favorite pastimes of Brave is taking out support, so I think that is probably put a smile on her face, I would imagine. And is she reluctant to break I would be as well, yeah. Yeah, she is. She's not looking to break that rune. I mean, she's trying to build up that board. Unfortunately, in those colors, you know, obviously Fief has access to Ice Storms, Dawn's Wraths, pretty much everything but New Era, really.
Soldiers, form up. Speed.
The Praetorian Commander has been kind of a mainstay in any control deck. And although I will say, you don't really see a whole lot of Dominion decks, period, let alone control decks, but we are seeing one here. And yeah, with that drain on the board, it pretty much, I would be surprised if Brave strikes here. I would expect the trade. Yep, with the, I was going to say with the Hiss Mage, couldn't remember the name. And I think she'll hold off on that. And Nixox might come down. It's just a shame to waste that, but I mean, when you're sitting at 13 Magicka, okay, that's a bit surprising. Doesn't mean it's wrong, just wouldn't have seen that coming. Alright, I think she was doing that primarily to protect her 5/4 Vulture, and unfortunately, because of the Lightning Bolt, it didn't do anything. Elder Gleam Matron, great for value. And another Nixox! Oh, it's a clan of Nixox, so she can, I think she can play them both. Snowy Sabercat, now reduced to a petite 1/1. Curious she didn't hit it twice. Oh dear. Things are looking pretty grim here. Although that was not a fantastic... That's a great thing. If you're playing against Control Conscription, the longer the game goes on, more than likely the less amazing those conscriptions are, because those cards are getting played. Now, if she Shadow Fens the Snowy Saber, it'll only be able to strike once, but it will be a 3... Will it be a 3/1 or a 3/7? Because the curse effect goes away. I'm not really sure, but yeah, that was a really big thing, really big play for Fief. Despite it not being an amazing conscription, it filled up almost 2 lanes and has more cards in hand now than at any other point in the game. So Brave definitely has her work cut out for her here. We said that earlier in the game when everything was pretty much even, and now even more so, of course, that Fief has a decided card and board advantage. And Fief is pivoting into the aggressor here, looking to close it out, realizing... Oh my gosh! Wow. Really? I mean, it is hard not to say that there are some folks who have a charmed life. I mean, yeah, that was enough for Brave as well. GG, Brave. Sorry to see it. And Thiago the Blacksmith said he was suffering with his Dagot deck. I don't know if that means that it was not doing well, but doesn't look too bad. Now he is up against Antarxamon. Antarxamon? Who knows? Ironically enough, Antarxamon is the Red Mountain, but we are seeing the Red Mountains are decidedly on Thiago the Blacksmith's side of the board. He has an entire mountain range, in fact, accompanied by a random mushroom. Who knew? So again, Praetorian Commander, we're seeing again in the control deck. We are getting into new era range. That Grummite, though, boy, if there was a deck...
Potions, sweetmeats, get your
If there was a deck that you want to have that card in, to be playing against.
The destruction mage is never unarmed.
And new era can be wrung out. So I'm kind of surprised we didn't see the Grummite come down. Yep. That's rough. That's rough. But you just got to know. You just have to assume Empire is going to have it in hand. And you saw it was the furthest card. So either they held it on through the mulligan, or they just had it in their hand this whole time. It came down on turn 2 or something.
Lead me into battle. Lead me into battle.
So Thiago did have the answer for it. Which is, I'm going to fill the board now.
Speak, citizen.
So he was in a very fortunate place that he had enough cards Oh, boy. All right, so in Tarxamon, playing what is in my mind, well, not my mind, but my, from my POV, the diabolical deck. I don't like thief cards. Just don't like thief cards. I'm not saying they're broken. I'm not saying that you're a horrible person for playing them. I just don't like them. And there's the Gromite. Does it hit another new era? Nope. Oh, it does hit a alternate art emulating blast. And that emulating blast, actually, the art looked pretty nice. But he had another one. So, yeah.
So many purses.
And there we go. Another thief. Yep. Yep. And for a second I thought, oh, hey, he's playing something fresh. But I was like, oh, no, that's a card he stole from Thiago. So this is perhaps why Thiago was saying he's suffering with Dagoth. And we're seeing he doesn't have any cards that really are making use of Red Mountain. I mean, Soulrest Marshal, that's all right, but it takes down Parth. So that should put a little bit of a hiccup in Antax's step there in terms of him trying to go on the aggressive. He's really reduced his board. And Brave, I don't know if you saw, the commenting that summed up pretty much her climb today, that last game, punished for playing an off-meta deck. And that's why, largely, like, if I got inspired, like, I had my revised Silence and Violence Sorcerer deck, but nowadays when I climb, if I'm going to, like, seriously climb, if I'm really trying to get somewhere, like, get out of rank 9 right now, I'm going to use Primo decks, because you just, unless you happen to be up against somebody else who's using something moderately creative, a little bit offbeat. All right, so that's going to get rid of Skeever Infestation. Then you're probably going to lose, even if you're a great player. I mean, now that's not to say that great players can't win with bad decks. They still can, but at this point, you're not really. It's getting rarer and rarer, I think, to come across like beginner players that don't really know. You're coming across people of my level, which are average. They're not amazing. They're good enough to crack the top 10 or to crack legendary on occasion, but not great enough to be in the top 10 or top 100. And I don't want to sound too arrogant, but you play me with a really crappy deck, I'll probably win unless I get a horrible draw, just because I would be playing an optimized deck. So anyway, long rabbit hole, all that to say, yeah, it's a bit hard. If you just want to play, you can play whatever deck. But if you want to win, there's a scope. And for people like me, like I've actually gotten a couple decks from K Fluffy, and the thing is, you have to be. Okay, Thiago said the idea is to reduce the cost of cards in the deck as much as possible. So I'm guessing he's also running the fence that we saw in what's his name? Fluffy Fries. What we saw in his deck. All right, so Thiago is still pushing with his brave little rats. Sanctuary Pet is going to prevent a little bit of damage, but, I mean, it's getting close. And Tarks. Yeah, it's looking like it, Thiago, unfortunately. And Tarks has just a ton of cards, ton of options, and he has been whittling down. He has not been just kind of sitting on his haunches there, his laurels, if you will. He's been whittling Thiago down as well.
You trusted me.
And he's got all the... Yep. Good game, Thiago. Good game. Okay, I actually queued into a game right before this. I'm not going to say the name of the player, and I decided not to put the video in this episode because it was obnoxious, but they were up against an Invade player. When I first queued in, I thought, okay, things could go pretty well. Or we could be in for it because it was, up against an Invade. But I didn't see that the gate was up to like a 16 or something like that. The guy plays a spawn a random creature, whatever. Flesh Atronach, 28 hit points with charge. And that was pretty much the game. So I say that just to say, hey, invade, awesome. But I didn't want to, the game lasted all of two. And of course, the invade player was milking it, didn't even bother to do proper rune breaks. Hit with the 28, then hit with something else after playing 2 other cards. It was just a bad situation. But yeah, I have not seen that come down. But yeah, you should not be able to do shenanigans like that so easily. But that is invade. But that is all behind us now. We are back with Eye of the Restless Storm, who is off to a pretty darn good start against myriad Hawks. Myriad Hawks.
By the fires of oblivion.
Again, running his Sork deck. And Hawks running the Call Dragon, which... Oh, interesting. Okay, so Thiago said he only plays 3 color decks. And if I'm not mistaken... Well, I recall Fluffy Fries at one point saying he actually more or less plays 2 attribute decks. So we've got a nice smattering of there. Folks that prefer 3 attribute, there are folks that prefer 2 for different reasons, and it's quote unquote all good. All right, yeah, and I is just coming at Hawks hard, unless he's got another Call Dragon to bail him out. Because at this point, at level 2, well, we know the gate. No, wait, did he buff it?
You must be cleansed.
And
I smell the stench.
hopefully I can close this one out, because again, as you saw there, he's just one off of lethal once again. Yeah, Brave. Yeah, just once she hits level 4, she'll be done with the ladder for the season.
Well fought.
Eye of the Restless Storm, encouraging his opponent to go out gracefully and not prolong the inevitable. Debilitate still leaves Shadowfen. Well, it's just been a rough day so far, folks. Rough day. Obviously, if we were spectating the other side of the board, it wouldn't seem so. But at least for the folks that I'm spectating, we've seen some rough draws. We've seen some really clutch and crazy fortune on the draw on the other side of the board. And then, of course, we get against guys like myriad Hawks, who suddenly has had a fit of some kind of forgetfulness or something and can't remember how to either hit the next button, how to find concede, or how to play a card at all. Has just lost all sense of his brain, his mind, hasn't disconnected, and looks like he's just going to be a turd muffin. We can only hope that his mom said, "Hey, myriad Hawks, I need you to come down and do some dishes or something," and he's like, "Okay," and he just had to go, and he forgot to keep playing. Hopefully no ill befell him, but the odds are most likely this is somebody who can't take a loss. But let that not take away from Eye of the Restless Storm's accomplishment, winning the game here with his Sork deck.
And this video is brought to you by the All-Maker Stone from Viclius, an 8-cost neutral support. When you summon a creature, bind a keyword of your choice to it. You can't bind the same keyword while it is bound to a creature. So it's kind of like an alternate Mundus Stone. You can, but instead of it being a random keyword, you can actually bestow an actual keyword on it of your choosing, which honestly I do prefer. It's not the keywords that I have a problem with, it's how random they are. So I like the idea that this empowers you to do it, and that you cannot double up the same keyword. So if you put it on a creature, as long as that creature is alive and on the board and is not silenced, the All-Maker Stone cannot bequeath another, cannot use that same one. So you can't spam a bunch of drain, you can't do a bunch of wards, which, I mean, it is a limiter of sorts, but I think because different keywords, I mean, there are going to be times where breakthrough is the right keyword for you. It is powerful, so I think the 8 cost is good. I think it's good in neutral. I do think the 8 cost is appropriate. That is going to be more of a late game strategy deal versus, the 4 cost Mundus that we have now. Or is it 5 cost? Well, we'll see in a minute because we have an update on that as well. But I think I like that because it is not random. It does incorporate some strategy into the keywording. Maybe, I mean, I think something like that can be abused with, like Tullius's Conscription. Anything that's going to spam out a lane or two of cards, being able to give certain ones specific keywords could be a little iffy. But again, there's only going to be so many keywords. I mean, if you do Tullius's Conscription, regenerate's no good. I mean, guard is good, but you can only do one. Charge. I mean, there's good keywords. But my point is, I think it's right on the line of maybe being problematic. But let's be honest. I mean, Mundus Stone with an entire board full of creatures can be problematic as well. So I think I like it. I think I like the strategy behind it, the mindset behind it, and I think the cost is probably right about fair. Same cannot be said for this. Boo! Boo! Sorry, Viclius. Somebody else called it out. I think it was Lollygag Sweet Roll was like, oh, I hate Mundus Stone. So, of course, I call this a poop stone. I believe it's a 4 cost, if I recall correctly. I never played the darn thing, so I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure it's a 4 cost, and it only gives keywords to creatures moving forward. And even that, I would say, is pretty broken for a 4 cost. I mean, and people say, oh, it's not all that great, or it's whatever. I think there's plenty of videos on the channel that show just how that card can single-handedly give you the win, because it's constantly, after that 4 cost is paid, essentially, which, yeah, if you're going to play that's your only card on turn 4 against an aggro deck, it's going to be screwy. But if you're playing it's turn 8, and you're doing some board contesting, and you're about neck and neck, and you're able to play this plus another creature, like, as soon as you play that creature, you're starting to get value on it, because all the creatures are statted based on what keywords based on whether they have keywords or not. So a drain creature is not going to have as good a stats as a normal creature because it has drain. Same thing with ward. When you start adding keywords onto creatures, otherwise you're going, there's just way too much value. There's too much potential for value, and I rarely see it low roll. Sometimes it does. And in fact, the reason I didn't run it initially, I mean, I came to loathe this card in general, but initially I didn't like it because I was trying to pilfer with one of my kitties for the win, and it gave her guard. So my opponent was able to kill her, and the game went down the tubes from there. So, but I think, so first of all, the reduced cost is insane, I think, already, because part of what makes it not a great card is that 4 cost, and there's going to be a window of time where playing that is going to be a huge tempo loss for you. But then this is a prophecy, so it can be summoned on prophecy, and it says give each friendly creature a keyword. So not only is it moving forward, now it's saying that whatever's already on the board gets you there, and it's a prophecy. And he said this was based on there's the intelligence card. I think it's a 2 cost prophecy that will give keywords, but it's a one-off. It is not a support. It is a one-off. It's an action, and and it does help the board, but it doesn't work on future summons. So I think this is way overpowered for what it is. I think the Mundus Stone as it is now, it's ugly and it's unfortunate, but it is not 100% broken. This, I think, unfortunately, makes the poop stone the poopiest thing in the game ever. So personally would not want to see this in the game, but that's just me. Nimira's Shrine, on the other hand, the cost is still the same. Ongoing at the end of your turn, if you played 3 cards this turn, draw a card. And fortunately, there was the conversation between Viclius and Yum Yum. Yum Yum said, why is this? Why would you nerf it? It's already unplayable. He said, no, I've restored it to what it was. I didn't realize this, or I didn't remember this, but it used to be 3 cards. Right now it's 4 cards. You have to play 4 cards to activate Nimira's Shrine. So Viclius has restored it back to the 3 cards, and added that cards drawn by Nimira's Shrine don't count towards activating this effect again. I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure what impact that has, because it says at the end of your turn. So any card that you draw, you wouldn't be able to play anyway, because it's at the very end of the turn. So you play Nimira's Shrine, you play your 3 cards, or Nimira's Shrine plus 2 cards, and you get to draw one. But your turn's over with. You couldn't play that card again if you wanted to. So I'm probably missing something very obvious. I'll admit that. So I'm not entirely sure what that allows you to avoid, or what that stops, because I think just the idea with Nimira's Shrine, which I don't know that I would agree with, is that there was too much value. But I mean, there's certain decks that can make use of it if you're playing Firebrands and things. Otherwise, I think there's a reason we don't see Nimira's Shrine much at all anymore, if at all, and that's because, I mean, how many times do you have 4 cards you can play at one time, or 3 cards plus Nimira's Shrine, and you're only getting 1 card, so you just would have to be doing a crazy amount of generation to make that happen. So maybe this is just an unfortunate card where 3 is too few, 4 is too many, but I would say, as things stand now, I would be in favor of this. I don't know what the extra line at the bottom would do, what the impact it would have on the card, better or worse, but I do think getting it down to 3 cards that need to be played would benefit this card, and we might see it in circulation again. But so thank you, Viclius, for putting these ideas out there. Like I said, I definitely like the All-Maker Stone. I think that's a great addition, and Nimira's Shrine is kind of a reverse nerf, which is fun to say, and I think would work out well. Poop Stone, I won't say anything more about that. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and now back to the game.
Okay, we are back with Thiago the blacksmith, who did inform me that his Red Mountain shenanigans are working. Oh, we do see Poopstone. That's a sad state of affairs there. But, you know. Ooh. And, yeah, a few losses have put Brave at the bottom of the snake. That does not mean, though, I believe it is about 6:30 her time. I would still not be surprised if she gets out of the snake and out of actually gets to rank 4 by the end of today. She has that kind of tenacity and that kind of perseverance. Time and time again, season again, despite what the game throws at her, she's able to push through. So I think she'll be doing all right. So yeah, no, I mean, we're seeing some really unique and cool stuff here from Thiago. Well, granted, Lich's Ascension is not, he did not draw that organically. Or that's not part of his deck, obviously being Dagoth. That's not possible. He drew it from something else. But he gave me a heads up and said, you know, the deck is starting to work. So he's got the fence and the Red Mountain. So it is a discount cards as much as possible. As we can see, Parthenax is going to come out if the Thieves Guild stays on board. I think we're going to see one of those crabs trade into the guild, the fence, just to make sure. Shackle the Bat. No, really? Oh, he's planning to kill the bat. Okay, so yeah, we just see the crabs go marching in. And he seems to have kind of... Okay, never mind. I was going to say he seems to have... Oh, no! Old Salty's Assault! I mean, that's geriatric, barely functioning Salty's Assault right there. That was the saddest little assault I've ever seen. Okay. I mean, it's drained, so it's helpful. Rally and breakthrough. I mean, look at that 4-cost Ancano. Holy cow. There is... Okay, yeah. He is going to trigger a bit of card draw because of the 6/5 on the board. And yeah, I think Thiago's got this one locked down. Obviously, it's you never want to call something like that too early.
That was a mistake.
But it's looking pretty darn good here. His discounts are doing really well. I mean, heck, he'll be able to play an Eclipse Baroness and Ancano next turn. That's pretty freaking awesome. Unless Quarter Note, all caps, cap lock Quarter Note. There we go. I like that nickname. Caps lock Quarter Note. The perfect is going to remove that Red Mountain with a Shadowfen or an Edict. Shadowfen, either one of them, even though this is clearly an aggressive crab deck, I think either one have their usefulness. You probably wouldn't want to run more than one or two in an aggro deck, but they could be there to remove guards, drain things, give you that little bit of, ways to kind of counteract decks that are specifically designed to survive aggro decks. The good thing is, the longer the game goes on, I mean, obviously, if we had our druthers, I think we'd all agree we'd want. And Thiago's got it tied up here. Yeah, Quarter Note is on the back foot for sure. Oh, never mind. I was going to say the Trooper seems to indicate that he's got a heavy prophecy list, but I forgot that spawned because of this Knight of Nisus. Nisus? I think it's Nisus. Interesting. Anyway, so yeah, there we go. Prankster Mage. Original Prankster. Wait, does he have a lethal on this with Ancano? 5, 6, 10. I think he does. No, one off. One off.
Here you've been looking for.
So yeah, he's got it pretty much locked up here. And so Thiago is, running something different. Like I said, we primarily have seen his Telvanni list. Telvanni Singleton for a while, and then we saw recently a Telvanni list that wasn't a Singleton. But now we see him branching out to Dagoth, which is always fun to see how he brings his particular brand of deck building. I would like to see Mundus gone, but that's my personal preference. My own bias, my hatred, my animus for the Poopstone. But other than that, heck of a lot of fun. Heck of a lot of fun. And we're hoping that all caps quarter note is not going to be like blah 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 Hawks from the last game. Oh, okay, the crab, that's how he got it. I should have known. Old Mud Crab Merchant from Old Salty's Assault, more like. Yeah, hey, feel free, man. This is when you taunt the opponent. If they make it clear they're going to be jerks about it. I mean, why? Why all caps quarter note? I'm going to think of it different. All caps no class quarter note. There we go. Didn't even spell quarter note correctly. Whatever. Just being a turd muffin. Are you going to concede the turn right before the timer runs out too, or are you going to make it look like...
Nicely done.
Yeah. Wow. We are back with Eye of the Restless Storm. We've got 12 people, 12 of my friends are currently in the game, but not all of them are playing.
Of the living.
And so I'm kind of, right now it's Thiago and Eye of the Storm are the primary movers and shakers at the moment. So we're kind of going back and forth. Happy to see it. I'm going to say his favorite at this particular point. He's up against an aggro animal deck. He's got the Breton Conjurer, the Sorcerer's Negation, things to help him hang in there. Obviously, it would have been nice if he didn't whiff on the ally. That seems to be a regular thing here these days. In fact, I don't think we've ever... Well, we came in one game where she was on the board, and I think he had a firebolt in his hand. Or he had a firebolt in his hand. I'm guessing it came from her, so in theory... Ooh, okay, my analysis of the situation has changed. That was just a jackal for aggro's sake. This is obviously a goblin deck.
Of the living.
And I think happily, well, yeah, no, that does put. He is going to need a trigger for his Breton Conjurer because this is these decks are not the ones you want to put a naked conjurer on the board. Too many curses, too many chieftains.
My paws are quicker than your eyes.
And I don't know if he has a way to proc the conjurer without getting hit. I'm sure he does. Maybe Worm King Agent. Can Worm King Agent deal 2 damage to a creature? So Worm King Agent, I think. Oh, he is going to play it. And he's also playing Daggerfall. So 2 ripe targets for curses. And all those things. Let's see if Face Dog has what he needs. He's got a nice buff Thieves Guild recruit. He does not. Oh, he does. Ouch. Saisahan. Can't say I saw that one coming, to be honest, folks. That is... And I is holding on to his Ancano. I guess kind of the rule of thumb is if you have a way to remove a creature without using your big guns, do it. Even if it's a bit circuitous, even if it's a little more roundabout or less direct, because you are going to need that. And boy, Face Dog is really trying to close the distance here. And we haven't seen, I don't think, any. Oh no, duh, Barrow Stalker right there.
I smell the stench.
Is he going to tome it up? Nope. Nice. Okay, guards in both lanes, protecting them for everything except for Tazcad. Really? In an aggro deck, in a freaking aggro deck, you're running Aelid Guardians. That's just disgusting. He's gonna hit with the worm thing there to get another guard down. Lightning bolt there. Luckily, you know, Restless Storm has what he needs to weather that particular storm. Obviously, if there's another set of guards, and Razum not going to be able to get to face either. He is able to take out the Barrow Stalker before she can really gain too much life. Gets 2 back, obviously. I mean, that's going to be a difference. She does trigger. She will not trigger for face dog, so yeah, it's not as bad as I thought. I was gonna say that's what he needs to take out one of those two guards there, and that. Oh, Mighty Conjuring, great pickup there, and will be able to use it in conjunction with the. If he plays Tome, gets his 3/4 up to a 5/4, 5/6. Mighty Conjuring can come down next turn, but you see he continues to close that distance. He's not shrinking back. He's controlling the board, pushing the damage there so that. And there's that Tazcad, who can't just go face at this point, now has to be concerned about. Although he does have enough. He does have enough to play Tome and Mighty Conjuring. So barring a silence from face dog, I think this is going to be game. Is he going to hit? He'll probably hit with the 1 at least. Does he break that funnel? Because he doesn't have any reach right now. But at the moment, face dog only will have 2 cards to get through. Okay. Has lethal on board is not good. Oh. That is a very unfortunate turn of events. So Sorcerer's Negation, perfect way to get rid of that Tazcad and his little minion. Face dog has 7 from that other lane that Eye of the Restless Storm can't really do much about. So nice play there. So this is it. If face dog does not hit, he's already used 2 chargers. So we can only hope he does not. Oh boy, that might be the difference because face dog hit pretty quick. I'm guessing he has a Cliff Racer. No, he does not. Okay. But unfortunately, I cannot close it out on this turn, and it really comes down. Are you going to break the rune? Or are you going to risk giving him a card to? All right, Tome, draw first. Always draw first. Channeled Storm, great pickup there. He's going to be able to pick off that 2/2. Chooses not to. Unfortunately, that 2/2 combined with a Cliff Racer is GG. Okay, doesn't have it. Doesn't have it. And it looks like Eye of the Restless Storm is going to come away victorious after a really hard-fought victory against... Yep, well deserved. Good game against the Gobos. And we have stumbled across ShakeItBaby.NPO in versus Arena. Always got to remember. Look at the icons there. If they're gold, it's Arena, and you can't. I will no longer be. Oh my gosh! Look, they're playing a Bristlehide porker thing. Tusk Bristleback. I was close.
You can tell them you thought.
We only see that in Arena. It's crazy to see it in Constructed. No, because this is actually Arena. That's why you're seeing that card. So Shake It Baby, it has every advantage except for board advantage right now. I feel like I should be able to pronounce that. Sagathos. Yeah. Sophoscagathos. Son of a gun. And now Shake It Baby has managed to... now they're... Ooh. What a great card to have it constructed. In... Ooh. I like that. The Artist. It's a nice little tag there. Deal 1 damage, give 2+0. That's not what you want to be doing to your poor kitty who only has 1 health. I love that card. Great card. I mean, there's so much that can go wrong with it, but and I mean, hey, we're seeing already that's 2 legendaries in Shake It Baby's deck. Fortunately, you get Shackled. Good news is, without a silence, that Heirloom Greatsword is going to be in rotation for the remainder of the game. which means any card that is on board has +5 guaranteed. So I'm guessing we might see... Oh, didn't need to wait long for that. A good trade there. You know, sometimes I would be like, I'm not going to worry about it, but Dark Rebirth and cards of its ilk can certainly make use of that 1/2. So you definitely don't want to leave her on the board. And Candlehearth Brawler, fantastic. I would love to see this guy be able to hit for... I will say, though, like, the card looks great here because you can't see the top of the sword. When you look here, what kind of sword is that? Like, he summons an heirloom greatsword, which is like the size of, you know, some 6-foot-tall man. He's got this little... I mean, that's a Hobbit sword. That's Sting, essentially. So I love the card, and I like the art. I like the green effect there and everything. But by gum, it only looks good in the close-up because as soon as you zoom out, you're like, what in the world is that dagger? So unfortunately for ShakeItBaby, gosh, what is he called again? Oh wow, won't let me see anything while he's sorting this out. There we go. Enamor's Keeper. Enamor's Keeper will not be able to get to the face. No, actually he will. No, he won't. I was going to say Fear Totem would help him get there, but unfortunately, that's only the Candlehearth Brawl. Oh no, yeah, he can. If he trades the Candlehearth and the creepy dude, Maroon's Dagon's Flare, if he trades those two in and Fear Totems, he can swing for 11. Is that worth it to do? Nope, he decides it is not. I was thinking if you do that and then you put your Kind Reef Champion down there, the combination there is pretty much lethal, but wait. Wait, I missed something. Why don't we have a Greatsword? Why don't we have the Heirloom Greatsword? I missed it. Oh, he gave it to him, that's why. Duh. Good play there, good play. Sometimes I am not as swift as I would like to be, and I'm focused on the wrong things. Flapping my gums, so the Greatsword now comes back. There we go. Okay, that's what it is. I mean, look at that. That is a freaking big sword. Huge sword. Huge. And you got a little, it's my little pocket knife. Wow. Yep, this is how you tell you're in an arena right here. You do not see that guy come down unless you are in arena. And with Greatsword and Covenant Plate, I think he's got enough. No, he doesn't. That's only 8 plus 5. Yep. Just a little bit off. Can do some good damage, though. I don't think he's going to take out the 3/3 because, yeah, well, he only needs to do 2 damage, or he only dealt 2 damage, but the 3/3 is a 3/3 whether you kill her or you kill the next. Oh, okay, going to kill the Skelly. So, yeah, has a really nice, robust, although badly damaged, Shadow Lane. And it is just big enough for Fell the Mighty, and that is going to do it. Because he can do Fell the Mighty and Heirloom Greatsword to skip the rune on either his Candlehearth Brawler or the ginormous kitty cat. That's a cat riding a cat? That just looks weird. War-hardened Senshi. Or Senshi. So, Fell the Mighty, Heirloom Greatsword, GG. Okay, fine. Do it in the other reverse order, ShakeItBaby. Just to prove me wrong somehow. Good game. I thought we were in an event, but it looks like we are in a casual match with Leecham 894 up against Geronum. Ooh. And boy, is he, I thought for a second. Oh, and he's running a consume deck. So I'm guessing, if I had to guess, because Leecham usually is mixing it up on the ladder. If I had to guess, I would say this is a get my consume get my consume daily quest out of the way. Would be my assumption. Because you really don't see a lot of consume, at least this much. I mean, these are all consume. I mean, there are just a ton of consume decks, consume cards here. So hopefully he can pull out a win as well. But he does what I do. If I'm trying to quest, unless the quest happens to be something that is compatible with a deck that I want to play, or a deck that I think is going to do well, I won't try to quest on the ladder, just because, you know, too many times it's like, oh man, I could do the quest, I could achieve the quest, or I could win the game. And it's like, do I really want to keep going for the quest? No, but I don't want to lose either, because obviously a loss in the ladder hurts more than a loss in casual. So who knows?
I do not fear death.
Is he not going to go for that 1 point of breakthrough? Ooh, guards are now useless. It's going to do an extra 3 points of damage, and I think he's going to just sit on the 7/4, yeah. So leech him, what are his options here? Imbued Argonian, is that the guard? Yep. So he has a guard, which isn't going to do a whole heck of a lot. Although wait, does he when consumed?
I'll take you all down.
I couldn't remember if he was one that, if he consumes like the shield or the warded gal, that will become warded. Unfortunately, no way to really take care of the Fighters Guild recruit. So the 6/6 is going bye-bye. He's going to at least get the breakthrough on the 1/3. And that's going to do it. Why are you... Because you can do 4... Okay, you can only do 9 damage right now. That's why.
To oblivion.
One off of lethal. So hopefully for Leecham, if he is going for consume, it looks like he's going to get one more turn to do some consuming. Because I think we can say the game is lost at this point. But get at least, let's see, how many... Ill-Fated Scholar needs to be consumed. Ruin Shambler, sure. And possibly Bone Walker. Can he still win? I mean, Geronimo has 8, 9, 10, 11 with Reeve.
Khajiit is going to enjoy.
Yeah. I mean, Blood Dragon's going to just go right over that, but... And it's going to put it...
It has been my
yeah.
honor.
I mean, Geronimo still had lethal even without that. Well, not without that, but...
For the ages. Most gracious of you.
Okay. Exchange of words, but they were pleasantries. And this is what I expected to see when I got into the game today. I knew that we were having a gauntlet. I saw a lot of talk in the Discord about sharing decks and people going, hey, what are you using? What's going to be good for this? And I know CardSharkCharlie did very well in the last Elsewhere gauntlet, which I believe is what this is. Running this exact deck, I'm guessing, not quite as great off the ladder or outside of this because of what the limitations are. This particular gauntlet, like the options your opponents have are not as many. I think he still did well with it, but I guess he didn't have as much success. But right now, TMO AZZ is going crazy with it. And that... Now, CardShark does run, if this is the deck that he gave me before, he does have Ice Storm in here as specifically to counter, but it cannot counter that amount of, obviously, an Ice Stormer is not going to get it done. So it looks like, I mean, I think that's just GG. In one turn. Now granted, TMO had built up that board. It didn't all just happen in one turn. But pretty much, with 8 Magicka, or 9 Magicka, I guess, he definitely could have played most of those cards in one turn. Certainly, yeah. So it looks like CardShark's going to be able to forestall lethal on this coming up here. Rebellion General. Is that card draw? Unfortunately, it is card draw. I'm sure what he would rather have is removal. Take out that 6/6 lion kitty thing. Unfortunately, that was not meant to be. And even the mighty Queen's captain with his silly little hat cannot take on. Oh, there we go. Nice. Nicely done, CardSharkCharlie. Nicely done. I mean, it's still a pretty darn good board that TMO has going for him, but as we can see there also, TMO is a top 10 legendary player. So CardShark had his work cut out for him regardless. Big old Tazcat coming down, buffed by the Divine Fervor. And let's see if CardShark can whittle down those forces.
There is murder.
Going to draw first. Fighters Guild Recruit most certainly going to come down, perhaps even with Mentor's Ring. Giving everybody on that board lethal. Oh, no. Fighters Guild, Wardcrafter, Mentor's Ring.
If I fall,
Watch. Watch me, folks. Aha! I can call stuff sometimes. Bam! Woo-wee! The tides, they turn. That is quite an impressive play there by CardShark. And we'll see what the retaliation is from TMO. The repost, as it were, the countermeasure, the counter swing, the
I will
what he does.
throat.
Thing is, it still leaves CardShark with a nice board. I say that. Okay, it's funny to say that when you got two creatures, but when they're guarded and they're lethal.
Nalago will make them.
Okay. No, I was gonna say I would rather take a loss on the 5/5 than have my opponent get two more cards at this stage of the game. But unfortunately, CardShark didn't really have much of a choice. He doesn't have a whole lot of draw. Lunar Sway obviously is gonna give him some good cards.
This is interesting.
Frazzle Elfique can. No, he's not gonna be able to take out Ungulum. Oh, excuse me. This game is boring. I'm not yawning out of boredom. I'm yawning from just general fatigue. There's that Ice Storm, which when your opponent doesn't go crazy with the buffs and the things and the whatnots is really effective against in this gauntlet against what a lot of people play, which are the Elfiques and the gates and everything. But you can handle a board full of 3/3 kitties with an Ice Storm. You cannot handle a board of 3/4, 4/4s, and 4/5s. So CardShark really, I mean, I'll admit, two or three turns ago, I thought he was pretty much done for, but he's really managed to stay in this. And this one will remove a creature, not draw cards. But TMO has a nice fistful of those already, so not really important. Takes out that 4/5. The mighty Fighters Guild Recruit that was lethal became warded and then passed those abilities on to the rest of his teammates. So that is, he's going to destroy another creature, probably the 5/5, yep. Oh, wow. Boy, I mean, it really is just back and forth. Each player having a great turn and then getting answered. And that is not a card CardShark probably wanted to see. Can he... I mean, he can make his Ice Storm respectable. And Murkwater Witch comes down to remove that one. See, this is what I'm talking... Or, okay, the little Frazzled Elfique. That'll work, too. This is what I'm talking about, folks. That's what I'm talking about. This is a great game. This is a game between two titans. And it's... I hate to say it, but it's a fair game. Like, like... They both have had amazing plays, but I feel that's them making the best use of the cards they have. It hasn't been like, oh, I top decked this, I top decked that, or I got that. It's like they put it together. Okay, I'm going to combine this, and to take out these two things. So yeah, I mean, I think this is like the ideal Elder Scrolls. This is Elder Scrolls at its best. Like every play, you're going, oh my gosh, I don't see how CardShark could win, and you go, oh my gosh, I don't see how he could lose. And right now I'm going, I don't know. TMO. I don't know in the confines of this gauntlet. If, excuse me, if there are no piercing javelins, but if there are not, I would say CardShark has, and that's like every play, each of them are building an advantage. Great. Let's see what TMO's answer is. Now, CardShark has had, on average, I would say each turn, like 1 or 2 more cards to work with. Okay. Yep, there's the Javelin. That once again, I mean, that just pretty much changes the landscape of everything. It's no longer in CardShark's favor. He does have a card advantage. He's been holding on to those Lunar Sways, I think mostly just because he's had to play other things in order to keep up his guard against TMO's relentless assault. But they've been both going at it really well, and I'm just pleased as punch with how this game has unfolded. Seeing CardShark's elsewhere build holding up very well against TMO, who obviously I don't think I've ever communicated with TMO, but obviously a top player, top tier, who's also built a really good deck. And this is like the equivalent of, sometimes people will say, refs, let the players play. Like sometimes you get refs that get in there and they call all these like small things, and it's like, it just feels like the game is being determined more so by calls that 50-50 on whether they get called in a normal game. In this particular case, it feels like, okay, RNG, just let them play. Give them cards and just, let them go at it. So, I think that's on draw, right? Oh, no, it's on drain. Okay. Wrong about everything.
Unclad fools!
Brazil Feek allowing a trade over there. Rebellion General? Yeah, Rebellion General would be... Okay. And Rebellion General, I think, is going to... will he trigger the other? I can't remember. He's going to trigger Wax. And he'll do... Okay, so yeah, Rebellion comes down, takes out the 2-1. No! Interesting. What do you got up your sleeve, CardShark? Well, I guess he just decided that trade wasn't worth it. And, the 5-3 still has a good trade. Okay, and TMO getting his Ungulum's Assassins pretty early, as is custom. I think at this point you can just assume. Like, when I first started playing this game, I was like, and I saw the Assassins come down after, like, 2 turns after Ungulum got played, and I was like, what kind of luck is this? But, oh, wow. I got to give TMO at this point, I would say, has a distinct advantage with those 2 supports on the board, just allowing every creature to be ginormous, and really nullifies anything. I was going to say, nullifies the Ice Storm from CardShark, although it will work out on this play if he so desires. Because he can trade into the Assassin and wipe out that board and would still have... Oh, no, he'd only have 1 card left. Never mind. I thought he'd have the other 2-4, but he needs a 2-4 in order to make the Ice Storm actually halfway effective. But there's not going to be a lot of situations where you can play that with any efficacy now, because every card coming out is +2 to that health. And, so they have to have his +2 coming down, and they're going to be out of range. So CardShark mulling it over. You don't usually see that. I mean, he thinks about stuff, but usually he's pretty assertive. And another prophecy, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, TMO has had prophecies on every rune break that we've seen. And another Javelin. So at this point, it is, like, we know that those prophecies are part of the game. But I would say with that amount of prophecies, the RNG has shifted slightly in TMO's favor. But the board state definitely favors CardShark at the moment. TMO can't be running unless he's running Debilitate. Has really no mass removal. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good card to have at this particular juncture in the game. Although, CardShark with that Rebellion General and Frazzled. Interesting. So Moongate, bam. And I think that's going to do it. I don't know. Yeah, okay.
Unclad fools!
Can that do damage to face? I think it can, right? Maybe not.
This one will tear them to shreds.
I mean, with Rebellion General, though, he's going to be able to do it. Easy. We can see the little kitty zap. I think this is going to be a great way to end the game. The episode started off a little rough for a lot of our fellow fighters here, but I think this is a great way to end it. We had a great battle back and forth, and now we're going to get to see the kitties do so much lightning bolt, so much fun stuff, and yep. And TMO, to his credit, is kind of letting. I mean, he can see right now that he definitely has lethal. Maybe he's. I think he's just saying, "Okay, you've got it." Good game, CardSharkCharlie. Good game, TMO, as well. Fantastic. And with that, we bring this episode to a close. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep playing.